Hello, this is Nabe, and let's play La-Mulana concurrently. So if you haven't seen the video I've posted of the old version of this game, this Let's Play is about a game called La-Mulana that was released in 2005, and a remake was made last year, which is this version. There are many differences between the two, and this playthrough is mainly to demonstrate those differences and also to see me die in a lot of spectacular ways as I jump over children. So, the quirk about La-Mulana that I love so much is that it's a game that was made as a tribute to the days of old. And the reason I love it so much is because it's so challenging and it's so honest in its challenge that that I really love it to bits. It's a game about Professor Lemeza, who is an archaeologist, sort of exploring these ruins of La-Mulana and this village made of tents. And that's about it. That's all you know. I mean, you learn that from the manual, just in the style of, you know, old games. There are a lot of differences in the way that this game plays compared to its predecessor, if you will. And we are going to see some of those. But, I mean, the most obvious thing is the graphics. The graphics are more of a sort of 16-bit era, even maybe PlayStation era of 2D. You collect money a lot quicker. You can kill birds sometimes, rather than not killing them and dying spectacularly, so that's good. But yeah, a lot of the core mechanics of the game are very much the same. And the differences come in how they're implemented, and sometimes in the order you encounter them, which can be a lot of fun. So, I'm gonna head over to Elder Zelpud's tent and see what's up. So since you don't necessarily have to watch. Okay, so I already explained all this in the other video, but you might not be watching this in that order. I mean, the thing with this series is that you could just watch the old game series, or you could watch the new series. You could watch them together. You could, you know, mix up the videos. Yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. Anyway, let's get this underway and talk to Elder Zelpud. As I said in the other video, I'm not going to be doing voices, I don't think, just because there is an enormous amount of text in these games. But I might occasionally, just for kicks. Who knows? If I'm going too quickly with the text, feel free to let me know in the comments. Who knows what happens to you? That's nice of you, Zelpud. I know, isn't it? It's pretty fantastic. Yeah, I also heard that they make good games. Yeah, so in this game, there is an email system, which means that you get a whole heck lot of messages from Zelpud. A lot of them are hints. So yeah, there's one right now. So the difference between this game and the old version is that in this game, you have a laptop, it's not the MSX, just to avoid copyright issues, because this game was made for WiiWare, first of all. So they got rid of all the MSX references, and instead, you get funny emails from Zelpud. And also, you get, where are you? You get software, rather than game cartridges for the MSX. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only difference. So without further ado, oh, here's another pretty interesting difference. you can save right away. In the other version, you need to get a special game cartridge to save, and then you need to equip it, and it's a big hassle, and sometimes you fall onto birds. Well, in this game, that is pretty much eliminated, and you can just save wherever the hell you want, so that's pretty great. And these birds I find are a little less aggravating in this remake, which is fine, because they were pretty ridiculous in the other one. So, in the original, the puzzle in this room was that you needed to defeat all the enemies to open this chest. Is the puzzle still that? No, you can just press the pedestal down. So yeah. And then you have to whip chests to open them, and you can get the shell horn. And what the shell horn does is it gives you a handy dandy jingle whenever you've solved a puzzle. So that's useful, but you could just not get it if you don't want to. Make the game a little harder for yourself. You know, as you will. I'm not gonna judge. I like it though, and it's an iconic noise of this game, so I'm gonna get it. Get some money here. Combat vultures, or maybe not combat vultures. Okay. So these little green pickups I'm picking up, I didn't explain this with the old version, but they're experience points of a sort. But you don't have, there's no levels really. What happens when you fill up your little green meter at the top there is you regain all of your health, which is a very important thing. In the old version, this was the only way you could regain health. So it was an enormously important mechanic, and sometimes you can fall on birds, which is wonderful. In this version, hopefully I won't die. In this version, there is a hot spring over to the left somewhere, and since also when you fall in this remake, you if you fall too far, you get stunned for a second. So that's another difference, which I like. It's pretty cute. So yeah, I'm gonna go check out that hot spring and hopefully not die. Or I'll just get healed as a result of the meter, so there you go. But yeah, I'll show you the hot spring. It's over to the left there. I'm sure I'll be using it a lot as the game goes on. Another immediately obvious difference of this version is that you get a lot more money really quickly. I don't know if I feel like I said that already, but that could just be because I've recorded this video about 27 times. Let's go in here. There's a hot spring. Thanks, dude. So yeah, you can't talk to the people walking around, but you can talk to the people in the buildings. This is a PC shop. What do you need? Well, I need this. That's very important. There's the Yahoo map reader. We don't need that just yet. Oh hell nah, you gonna get burnt, son. Yes. What do we need immediately? We need... we don't need that per se, but that'll be useful for later. But we do need this. The hand scanner, yes. A wonderful thing in the old game and also in this game. Originally a peripheral for the MSX. This game doesn't have the MSX anymore, instead you have the Mobile Super X. But the handy scanner remains, because it's a pretty important aspect of this game. How do I... there we are. That's a lot of email, let's check it out. Cool. So yeah, I'm not gonna leave this up long enough for you to read it, but you should pause the video and read them because they're pretty funny. Yeah. So that email is important because... oh dear. Doing crazy things with my keyboard. Okay, so yeah, that email is important because if you walk into water in this game, your health starts to drop immediately. As if it were, you know, like lava or some other sort of game obstacle. I could have used that weight. That's another thing in this remake. Let's just do this, why not? Whee! There's an extra screen here in this remake. But another part of this remake is that items in this have gravity, so that when they fall out of enemies they die, whereas in the other game, they would just show up. and stay there where they spawned. So another thing I love about this game is all the lore, which there is a lot of. It is one of my favorite examples, and just so you can see, we need the glyph reader. We can't read these yet, but we can take out a skeleton. So yeah, one part of this remake that's different from the original. If you've seen the old video, you know that that skeleton down there would have had a game cartridge. I think? No, never mind. But there's one over here that would have had a game cartridge. And instead, they don't. Because there aren't any cartridges. And there's a lot less software in this game than there were game cartridges in the other game. That being said, let's check out the email briefly. Selput's such a sweetie. So yeah, that being said, there's still quite a lot to be found. And these skeletons have notes in English, so even when you don't have the glyph reader, poor guy, even when you don't have the glyph reader, there's still things to be done, text to be read, and such. Another good difference is the difference in translations. In the original was fan-translated by Aeon Genesis, whereas this game was translated by Nicalis, the same people who made the Cave Story remake. I'm not sure. I think I like the original's translation a little more. Kangaroo rats, but this one is very enjoyable too. They make a lot of cute references. It's funny. Alright. Let's head over yonder and, oops. Yeah, so sometimes I think probably this tablet will say something like, if you whip things, the wrong things, you'll get, like, divine retribution. But, yeah, so it's best to avoid that. The whole lightning thing. That's never good for your health. Come here, skeleton. Whee! Whee! So, people need to have courage, eh? Ah! Yeah, well, if you've seen the old video, spoiler alert, those spikes are fake. And then I don't even need to say spoiler alert, because I just did it again in front of you. But anyway, shurikens are a thing. And that's, I don't want to go through here and use up a weight yet, so let's go this way. Let's head back and save, I think. Hey, none of that. Also, in the original game, or maybe this game too. Yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna put myself into the spikes for having said such a silly thing. Yeah. Yeah. So, even though I can't read these tablets, you can still save at them, which is good. In the original game, you had to return to Zelput every time you wanted to save, which is inconvenient, but becomes less inconvenient as the game goes on. Anyway, this has been Let's Play La-Mulana Concurrently, and I am Nabe. Yes. So, join us next time, and by us I mean me, because I'm only one person, really. And we will play this game some more, and it will be hopefully quite a good experience. But if you want an even more retro, super style, crazy, awesome experience, you should check out the original series of these videos, which of course, as the name of the Let's Play implies, we'll be playing will be coming out concurrently with these. So good times there. And I'm gonna stop talking now. Yes.